By the end of 1960, the focused and determined efforts of students fighting for equality were starting to pay off. 5 and dime stores across North Carolina began serving customers regardless of race. However, 25 miles away from Charlotte in Rock Hill, South Carolina, hardened attitudes were near a decisive tipping point.
My name is Willie McLeod, and I live in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
I'm Willie Thomas Massey, and I live in Rock Hill.
Meet the 5 surviving members of the city's Friendship 9.
James F. Wells, and I live here in Rock Hill.
I'm Clarence Graham. I live in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
David Williamson, Rock Hill, South Carolina.
They recently returned to this counter at Rock Hill's Old Town Bistro, but for years, it was a McCrory's department store. This is the place, this is the platform that provided one of the most defining moments in their young lives.
Who would think that 40 years, 50 years later we'll be talking about it?
They came from the now closed Friendship College. Fiery demonstrations demanding racial equality were carried out along Main Street for more than a year, but a critical moment challenging Rock Hill's social order boiled over at this counter on January 31st, 1961.
They were here waiting on us when we was coming up the street.
We sat down, and they took us to jail.
They didn't have far to take us. They drug us out the back, right to the jailhouse.
The charge, trespassing, and violators were offered 2 choices.
$100, 30 days.
In jail.
In jail.
The protesters spent the next month at the York County Correctional Farm. National attention came through an innovative move pioneered by the Friendship 9 called Jail, No Bail. It would be carried out on other battlegrounds throughout the civil rights movement.
We didn't truly realize the consequences of going to jail.
And the fact that we were there together kind of kept my feelings, my emotions, where they should be. Hey, we went into this together, and we've got to stick through it. Being locked up brought a share of challenges and even solitary confinement. The 30 days also fueled the desire to seek justice.
I was a freshman at Friendship Junior College, but after this went down, then that's when I decided that maybe I wouldn't want to go to law school.
Their plight piqued the curiosity of Michael Scoggins. He is a historian with the York County Culture and Heritage Museum.
I think we can be proud of the fact that here in Rock Hill, although change was sometimes reluctant and there was some resistance to change, it did happen here in Rock Hill and in York County.
Another civil rights event in the same year would help define the South Carolina city's history. John Lewis, now a Georgia congressman, was beaten here in Selma, Alabama in 1965. But 4 years earlier, he endured the violence dished out at Rock Hill's Greyhound bus station during the Freedom Rides, which were designed to test new desegregation laws.
A group of young white men attacked us, beat us, and left us lying in a pool of blood. And the local police officials came up and wanted to know whether we wanted to press charges. And we said no, we believe in nonviolence.
Nearly 5 decades later, Elwyn Wilson has emerged as one of the confessed attackers.
I had a load on my shoulders, and I felt like my heart wasn't right.
So Wilson took his story to the local paper, and that would lead to a series of public apologies.
When Mr. Wilson apologized and said, "Will you forgive me?" I was moved to tears.
He calls me his brother. That's what I call him.
We were not struggling against people. We were not struggling against Mr. Wilson or any white person. We were struggling against customs, traditions, and bad laws. We were seeking to bring people together.
John Lewis has received a number of apologies for what happened in Rock Hill. The Friendship 9 is still waiting to be exonerated by the state. Engraved trinkets bearing their names are mounted on the lunch counter seats of the old McCrory's to honor their efforts. But one local lawmaker wants the healing to go even further.
I think that we need a formal apology from the state.
State Representative John King introduced the Friendship 9 Act during the 2009 session of the South Carolina General Assembly. It would erase the charges and convictions of the group, but the bill got little traction and failed to make it out of committee. King says he will try again in the current session.
We have to have that. And so I will work with whomever to make sure that we pass this.
Exonerating these men may be a small step to remove some of the sting of the past, but the once jailed members who saw hard times and hard labor live each day with a lingering fear of the past.
And see, they always say history will repeat itself. And I pray to God that history don't repeat in this situation, because I don't think there's going to be people to do what we did 50 years ago.
Coming up, honoring the achievements of the Greensboro Four 50 years later. A look at how far we've come, but also a look at how far we still have to go.